Coach Willingham, this is Matt and Todd from the show live. Sir, how you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, we're hanging in there. Is everything going good for you this evening?
It's going pretty good.
Good. Coach Short is on with us, and Kevin Moore, he's also hanging around here on the page with us, and we're just going to let you talk about the kids, and we'll dig around in the schedule a little bit, and tell us how your summer's been going so far.
Well, we're just now getting started. Really, we did basketball and baseball most of June, but we do workouts every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 5 to 8, and everybody's been showing up. We've got good crowds up there, and everybody's doing good so far.
Good. Again, Coach Willingham, Collinsville Panthers up there. If anybody is Collinsville, it's Coach Willingham. He is Collinsville. He's just, it's in his blood, and I know that everybody up there loves him and appreciates him. Coach, the 25th, you're going to be Pleasant Valley. You're going to have them come over to your house. Tell us about that game.
Well, we've played them the last few years. Coach Nix and I go back a little bit, and it's a good game for us. We don't see them any other time. Well, they put them in our baseball area now, but it's just a good game for us to open up with. They're real physical, big and physical, and a lot of the teams we play kind of play like that. So,
that game, I thought that was does that game count? Because I got 11 on this schedule.
No, that's a fall jamboree.
That's a fall jamboree. Okay, never mind.
We play it like a real game. We play the first half.
Right.
We do all the kicking and everything live.
Yeah.
The first half. And then the second half, we play mostly JV. Even JV and some junior high kids, too, in the second half. And we play the kicks dead in the second half. But the first half is just like a real game.
Yeah, coaches, Coach Short or Kevin, what do y'all got to add here? What are y'all looking at the schedule here for Coach Willingham?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, first of all, I guess like I was comparing earlier, I don't guess Notre Dame was available because you've got Galesville, you got Pisgah, Sand Rock, Fife, North Sand Mountain Valley Head. That's a great schedule, and like I said, just with Collinsville, you guys have great tradition. And I'll say this: I've seen pictures of you got one of the nicest looking stadiums around for a 2A school.
Yeah.
But like I said, what are you? Kind of preparations have you guys done to make this to get these guys tougher for this upcoming season?
Well, we've been hitting the weights pretty good, and the way we do our workouts in the summer, we get there at 5 o'clock and we go out on the field and we do some active stretch stuff and speed drills and a little bit of light conditioning, and we go back into the weight room. That's after about 30 minutes. We stay in there about an hour in the weight room, and then we put our helmet and cleats come back on, and we come back out and we do position drills and all that kind of stuff. We do a little 7-on-7 against ourselves almost every day, and some offensive groups and defensive groups, and then at the end we condition. So we're trying to get ready for everybody we play. Our schedule, like you said, our schedule is tough. We moved down last year. We moved down from 3A to 2A, and everybody thought that was going to be easier, but those guys are really, really good. And you picked up on the Galesville thing. That's an addition. We didn't play them last year. We played Crossville in that opening game.
Right.
Okay.
And Crossville has dropped their varsity program this year for lack of participation.
Really?
They're going to play a junior high schedule, and they're on our junior high schedule, and they're going to play a JV schedule, and we're not playing them in JV. But Galesville had an open date that same week that we did. So, Coach Knapp agreed to play us, and it'll be at their place. So, it'll be a good game for us and them both.
Well, Coach, I noticed your region's not real tough. That's a joke. It looks like the NFC North. I mean, what is this?
Good Lord, what are you doing over there?
You could go 9-1 and finish third in the region. I mean, It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I tell you, we talked about getting ready to play. We could have a really good football team and win half our games.
Yes.
Everybody is really, really good. Five is out of sight. They lost a few linemen, but the running back that tore his ACL up.
Right.
He's back 100. He's been back 100%. He didn't play in the spring, but he's back 100%. And he's a good running back, but he plays safety also. He'll cut you in half from safety when he comes up. But they're going to be really good again. Pisgah's going to be really good again. North End Mountain is going to be really good again. And I'm not going to name everybody on our schedule.
Right.
Everybody. You have to be ready to play every single week with the schedule we got.
Well, I was just mostly looking at Fife and Pisgah, and I know they're just Pisgah has most of their players back, right?
So does Fife.
Yeah.
And so do we.
Right. I know. Well, tell us about
we lost 5 players that started. 3 of them started 2 ways. We're really going to miss Keaton DeBoard.
Right. Yes.
Obviously, he had a super season. Moved from quarterback to running back, but that allowed us to use him in a lot of different ways. And,
he was good.
You have a little kid from North Alabama that's one of the first-team All-State running backs. He had a phenomenal year, and he did. And he's going to play in college next year. And Jordan Coker, he started 2 ways for us, and we're really, really going to miss him on the line. Him and Aiden Daniel. We lost 2 linemen, Jordan Coker and Aiden Daniel. And I was just looking through my roster the other day. We had 10 other offensive and defensive linemen together that played when it mattered.
Right.
So we've got 10. We've got 10 offensive linemen coming back and defensive linemen.
Wow.
So they played a lot. So we think we're going to have some depth there, and hope we gain a little strength. But in the backfield, we lost
DeBoard.
We lost DeBoard, but we also lost Trevor Terrell and Fernando Padilla.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, he was a good player. He started for me for 3 or 4 years. And Terrell didn't start on offense, but he started middle linebacker. And we're really going to miss those guys. But we had a lot of young guys that played a lot. We're going to miss those guys, but there was only 5 of them. So we've got a lot of kids coming back. Got Mason McAteer coming back at quarterback. He had a great year for us last year.
He did.
That allowed us to move Keaton. Him being able to play as an 8th grader allowed us to play Keaton everywhere else we played. And, he had a great year. I'm not going to go over all his stats, but he threw 18 touchdowns and 3 interceptions as an 8th grader.
No, we saw him play. He was pretty impressive.
He's a good player.
Pretty impressive.
And he's gotten bigger and stronger.
And the Lang boys
that class has
impressive.
got some more guys. Kyler Bean got a lot of reps at running back last year, and he's an 8th grader, and he's put on about 25 pounds. He'll be a 9th grader this year, but he looks really good. Gavin Lang.
He's good.
Yeah, he's a receiver. But Gavin and Kyler, the 2 I just named, they started at safety also.
Right.
They're going to start on offense and
Ninth
start on
graders,
defense. But they started 2 ways as 8th graders. And
go ahead, Coach Short. What you got?
Yeah, Coach, this is Coach Short. I was at Cleveland County a long time. You kind of answered my question, but I'm going to go ahead and answer it because I heard you talk about a quarterback. I coached in 4A and 5A for 35 years. And this past year, I started working with John Holder, so I go out and watch a lot of people play, go watch practices. I got to watch my first 1A football game / 2A football game. My question for you is your team and the region that you're playing in. I always say this for 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A. You got to have a quarterback that can deliver and make things happen for you. And I know even when you're running the football, there's at times when you got play action passing, and that guy's got to be able to make those plays. Who besides y'all, who's got quarterbacks in your region that can actually come up and make those plays in the passing game off of play action?
Shoot, everybody's got a quarterback. Everybody's got their quarterback back. Five's quarterback is outstanding. Pisgah's quarterback is outstanding. I feel like our little young quarterback's outstanding. Everybody we play has got their quarterbacks back. So
are they all dual threat type guys?
Yeah, well, Five uses theirs. Five don't throw it much. They can.
Yeah, I know how they use theirs, but they can.
That kid's got a cannon for him. He throws the baseball 95 miles an hour. So you can imagine.
Five may open it up this year.
Well,
yeah, they'll throw it 4 times.
Ain't happening.
Last year they didn't throw it much, but they can.
Right.
Obviously,
right.
And Pisgah does sling it around.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to be as balanced as we can. Throwing and passing. Sometimes people load the box on you and you have to throw it, but we hope to be pretty balanced. So yeah. And our little quarterback can run. He threw for 1,400 yards, but he also ran for about 750.
Mm-hmm.
So, we didn't use him as much last year because, when it didn't matter, we didn't run him much because, of his age and size and stuff. So,
Right.
Now you're going to end
maybe
up there in
Go ahead.
November. You're going to have Coach Hammond come over, and we just got off the phone with him a few minutes ago, and he spoke highly of you, says that, not just coaching friends, but off the field friends too. And he couldn't say a lot of bad stuff about you, or you may kick him off your hunting land. So he had to kind of be nice about what he was saying because he likes killing deer up there.
He said he didn't want to kill all your big deer.
Yeah, that's what was so. We didn't say it though.
I might as well kill him. I just watch him. I reckon I just watch him. I don't ever kill one.
Tell us about that rival there. You and Coach Sam, Collinsville Valley Head to end the season there. It's going to probably be a nice little cool game and be up there at Collinsville. Tell us about that game, how y'all match up.
I tell you what, he's got a good thing coming back. He lost a couple of good running backs.
Yeah, he did.
The Robinson kid and the Bank kid, were just outstanding. But we had a knockdown drag out with them last year. Yeah. Up here.
That was a great game. That was there.
A great game. That was a great game. If we jumped out on just a little bit early, and then we scored a couple of quick touchdowns. One right before the half, and then one in the third quarter that were just one play, big shot plays. But he does a good job of what he does, and he's just going to be hard to stop. And I know he's going to be good again. He always keeps them big and strong. They're good in the weight room. We do weight meets with him every once in a while. He'll bring his kids up for, and we'll lift weights against each other and keep score just like a weight meet, but it'll just be us against them. And
did you say you had a one-play drive in that game? Because I went to the bathroom to wash my hands, and y'all scored.
We had 2 one-play drives. They scored right before the half to cut it to. We were ahead 13.
Y'all got it with like 16 seconds left, right?
Nah, it was about a minute, but we scored in 16 seconds.
Okay.
But they scored with about a minute. They scored with about a minute. That we were ahead 13-0. And
yeah.
They scored with about a minute, cut it to 13, then went for 2 and got it, made it 13-8.
Right.
And then kicked off to us. And then he put an all-out blitz on the first play, and brought his safeties up, and they were playing bump and run. And Keaton, we split Keaton out. We put him out of the backfield with no backs, and he was matched up with the linebacker. But Mason that was a big league play for a little quarterback, Mason McAteer too, because he had to sit in the pocket. He got hit hard on that play.
Well,
but he had to hold it. He got in the pocket and he stepped up and he held it, and Keaton still wasn't clear, and he held it some more, and then he finally cleared. And he let the ball go about the time he got murdered.
Yes.
And he knew Keaton caught it, but he didn't know he scored. But that was one play drive right before the half.
Yeah. I said, I'll go run in here and wash my hands right quick. Coach Willingham and them will probably just sit on it and go into the half because I think y'all had the ball first.
Well, we would have. We probably would have.
And I come back out, and it's like it's 20-8. I'm like, what?
That was a check.
That was
a check at the line.
Oh, you didn't call that. Right.
That was probably I consider that the game changing play. And Bo Starkey says tell you hi, and he's going to come up and see you pretty soon. We got off the phone with him earlier, and he's on here watching. He asked Coach about the loss of Keaton aboard and how will you replace him?
Well, you can't replace him with one person.
Yeah.
We're going to try to take a little slack here and there, with everybody, but we'll just have to have. Some of those young guys are going to really step up.
Right.
I just named a few of them.
Yeah.
Also, we got Titan Morgan, but did get played hurt. He hurt his ACL about halfway through the season. He's a really good player for us, and he's the reason that Gavin and the Line kid and the Bank kid had to play safety all year because he was a defensive back, and he started for me for a couple of years, but he's back, and he's pretty dangerous too. He's always played defense, but he's a good receiver, and we can use him back there, and we're going to move some people around. Somebody that may be surprised. A couple of people that run the ball this year, they hadn't seen them with a back number on before. So
we look forward to seeing you guys play, and always, again, thank you for spending a little bit of time with us this evening. I always appreciate you letting me come up there and hang out and watch the guys and talk to Teddy and aggravate him a little bit. So we got to aggravate Teddy a little, and he does a good job. Tell us about a few of you other coaches Coach Willingham, that help you up there. That got some guys I know that's been with you for a long time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of difference too. Got a lot of stability. Tanner Nelson's the offensive coordinator, and Chris Conley's the defensive coordinator, and they run the weight room for me.
Tanner was your quarterback, right?
We have junior high. What's that?
Tanner was your quarterback, wasn't he?
He played quarterback for. I came back. I retired for a while, and I came back.
You came back.
He was an 11th grader. He was an 11th grader when I came back, and he played quarterback for him for 2 years. And then he obviously went away to college, but he was a graduate assistant at Jackson State for a couple of years, down there.
That's Tracy Hogan's boy.
That's Tracy Hogan's, stepson.
Okay.
Tracy Hogan's stepson. But and he does a really good job. He's offensive coordinator, and him and Chris Conley do a good job in the weight room. And I left, and when I left and came back, things were different. Some things were different, some were better, some were worse. But the weight room was a lot better. And our kids stay excited in there, and they do a really good job in there. And Tanner does a good job with offense. So it's good to have him. Like you said, Teddy Helms.
Yeah, I love Teddy.
We moved him to offensive line coach a couple of years ago. Well, last year, actually. This will be his second year to be offensive line coach because Jeff Stanley, he decided not to coach anymore because he coaches soccer.
Okay.
And our soccer team competes for state championship.
Yes, they do.
every year.
Yes, they
So
do.
he has to concentrate more on them, and wanted to concentrate more on them. And I don't blame him for that. So we moved Teddy to offensive line. He does a really good job there. John Tidmore coaches with us, and he's more like an offensive analyst. He helps with offense, but he coaches receivers at practice. And
is he back with you now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He coached last year.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's always been. He's been every year I've been there. He's been with me. He's been in the booth. And just came to practice just every once in a while, just enough to know what we're doing. But now, he's on the staff now. He comes to practice every day, and he goes to workouts every day.
He's my twin. I've actually had somebody introduce me as him. I'm serious. They come up to me and said, "This is John Tidmore." And I'm like, "Really?"
No, I'm Diamond Dean. Don't you know anything?
I don't think we look alike. I'm not knocking him, but I just don't think we look alike. Apparently, everybody else does.
Coach Short, Coach.
He's a really good basketball
He
coach.
is.
But,
Fantastic.
In all honesty, he's a better football coach than he is basketball coach. His demeanor is so good with those kids, and I'm tickled to death that we've got him.
Yes, sir.
And Mike McElrath coaches running backs, and he was a really great player here.
Yep.
He graduated with Donnie Jones. They graduated in 1975, but they had a couple of really good football teams, and he coaches running backs. The kids really love him.
Yeah, I like him.
He's been with you a long time.
Yeah.
He has been with me a long time, and we've got a new coach that moved back, C.J. Jones,
Yes.
who played here a few years ago.
Yeah. Donnie's grandson.
Donnie's grandson,
Yeah.
one of Donnie's grandsons, and he's just moved back, and we're tickled to death to have him.
Good.
He was at Sandrock, right?
He was at Sandrock. He came back. We had a job open up, and he came back to us.
Yeah, I didn't know if I know Coach Little had left. Had got
Coach Little was here. Coach Little was here for about 3 days.
Yeah, I wondered how that. I know I seen him. Up there looking around and talking.
I know exactly what happened, but I'm not going to tell you.
That's fine. Yeah.
I'll tell you sometime. You come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll come see. Yeah, I knew he got to go from.
Everybody on the radio don't need to hear this story because I might start talking negative.
I know he left to City Bluff, and I got to meet him and know him over there, and I thought he done a good job over there. But anyway, we appreciate you for coming by and shooting the bull with us, and just some old yak heads and old football lovers. And Coach, we can't wait to see the Collinsville Panthers hit 2023 season on August the 25th, guys. Go over there that night and catch Collinsville play in Pleasant Valley. And then they'll be at Gills on that section. They won't be back home till the 15th of September. What a game that will be. You better get a big tub of popcorn because you don't want to get up like Dean and go wash your hands on the 15th against Pisgah.
With 12 seconds left in the half.
I think that's going to be a barn burner. If you're listening and you're a big-time football follower like 6, 7A, this is going to be a fantastic football game because either one of these teams here are going to be a late round playoff team, and they could wind up meeting again somewhere probably. I don't know.
Definitely.
Coach, thank you for your time. We'll let you get off here and get your socks off, and I know you got to get up about 3 o'clock and go whoop Teddy and make him get to workouts.
Teddy's on the beach. What about that?
Oh, that's right. He ain't coming back till tomorrow, I think.
You go at 5 in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he meant y'all went at 5 in the morning.
No, he just needs to whoop Teddy anyway. Teddy needs it. We got to keep an eye on Teddy.
We don't go at 5 in the morning.
No, I don't think anybody goes at 5 in the morning, do they? I've not heard of it. So
There's a few.
Coach Short, Mr. Moore, do you have anything to add here? Coach Willingham?
I've known Teddy for years and couldn't get a better guy to be the coach out there. And like I said, I've always admired the Collinsville team. Just best of luck this season.
Yeah, same here. When I look at your schedule, I mean, again, there's going to be somebody there that may not be in the playoffs that's playoff worthy.
Yeah.
Just by looking at your schedule. Maybe two of them. There may be two teams that are playoff worthy that may not even get there this year. So good luck, especially on your injuries, and hope nobody gets hurt. And good luck in your season.
Thank you, sir.
Coach Willingham, Collinsville Panthers, we'll be seeing you soon. We'll come up and visit. And again, we appreciate you for coming and hang out with us.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you, Coach.
Coach Ernie Willingham, Collinsville. He's been up there and coached years and took a break for a little bit and stepped away and come back. And he's Collinsville, guys. I mean, if you know high school football up here around this area, Ernie Willingham's just like his Benefield is 5.
Yeah.
Ernie's Collinsville.
Ernie did good at Coach Willingham did good at Appalachian. He coached there for a while.
Damn snots. Damn.
She's shooting it all over the place. It's okay.
Coach, he does. Was he there in 20? When I talked to you earlier today, Matt, was he there in 20?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. He
when they played 5?
Yes. That was a good game.
Yeah, that was at 5 tonight. It was Slayton and
Caleb Jones played.
Yeah, my son went up there and was watching that game, and he was trying to call me, and I couldn't answer because I was doing that game that night for NFHS. I was doing the NFHS game, and I had to let everybody know that it was cold and players were running around and steam coming out of their mouth, and I was freezing to death. But I actually was sitting in a studio in Sylacauga doing a ball game with a pair of shorts and a T-shirt on, but I acted like it was cold. So
you wasn't cold.
No, that's how they do those games in FHS. They don't go on site. They do most of them. The announcers are off site.
So you had to act like you was cold.
Yeah.
I act like I was freezing to death and shivering, but they were a very well coached football team. That's the one thing that I noticed about them that night is, sometimes those well coached teams, they don't win, but they give themselves a chance to win just because they are so well coached.
Right.
Yeah, if they can just keep it close, that's things they do. Because I'm gonna tell you now, Ernie ain't gonna put up no crap. There ain't no bunch of bull drive going on. I promise you, there is not a bunch of bull drive going on with them. His coaching staff, they all been together a while, and he does a good job. He makes good young men into men. I think he teaches them other values than football, and he thinks those values are important. I've heard him, say it several times, being up there around him. I really like Coach Willingham, and I know his brother Jerry. They're just good people,
Well, I just think it's unique that they've got so many young players that are so good.
Man, in the freshman class, you ever see them play baseball?
And I know somebody will be like, well, they've been held back. They're still ninth graders if they've been held back.
I'm telling you.
Starting both ways on a varsity football team.
Go up there
Hey,
and watch
Todd.
them play baseball.
Yes,
Todd, those people that argue about holding them back, they got that opportunity too if they wanted to.
well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but even if somebody said that would only put them in the ninth grade.
Yeah, I mean, they look. That'll be
Be that
interesting.
good in the ninth grade.
It should be interesting to watch and see if they continue doing that there at Piedmont because they've done a good job of that over the years. That will be interesting to see if they continue to do that.
Hey, well, now, if it's there to do it, you can do it. I mean, and it is allowed. I mean, I don't
Yes,
know.
yes, it's allowed. You just got to have the administration that wants to do it, and you got to talk your parents into doing it more than anything. Where did we get to in the playoffs? We have chased some rabbits here.
Yeah, we got into some 2A stuff
2A.
here.
We
kind
covered
of talked
two.
about we talked about Highland Home, BB Comer, and we've talked about Fife and Pisgah.
Yeah.
Do we look like it may be a return of these 4 teams here that played the semis?
Yeah, we're in 2A, aren't we?
Yes.
Right.
Could it be a return? The same 4 teams, could they be back again?
I think they have the capabilities if the injuries don't get them. I mean, the coach even mentioned a while ago, Pisgah has a lot of people coming back. You know, they have a good coaching staff.
Dude, it's the same bunch. It's the same bunch of kids that are athletes. You know, they went to Elite Eight in basketball.
Yes.
They did good in baseball. They play very hard.
Yeah, BB Comer took care of Highland Home 44-15, and Fife and Pisgah. I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought, well, you know, it'll be a little closer. I favored Fife in it because I'll never, ever bet against Benefield. I just won't. I don't care if he starts all seventh graders. I'm not mine. I'll never go bet against him in that. So we like Fife and Pisgah probably make a run, and then the South Highland Home. You know, why not?
That was the surprise. That was the surprise last year from the friends I know at Highland Home was how that game got away from them. But Highland Home last year, the year before, they was pretty good. Mm-hmm. They've got a lot of people coming back, but in that BB Comer game last year, they had 4 turnovers. So that'll get a game away from you in a hurry. But BB Comer, I know they've lost some coaches. I know that too. But they've also got a group of players that felt like – because that game, if you watched that game last year,
they could have won that game.
When they played that game with Fife, it's 28-40, and people think 28-40. I said, guys, that's 12 points. That's 2 touchdowns.
How many turnovers they have? They fumbled one time on their own 8.
They did, and it did eventually there toward the end. You could tell that BB Comer have not played a team like Fife.
Right.
They play a lot of teams. They're going to spread it all over the place and throw it and chunk it around. And it's just different when you have to go play somebody that'll get in a phone booth with you and try to beat you up. And eventually the fourth quarter happens.
How's Lynette going to be?
They're still going to be Lynette. They're going to have athletes. It's just when you go to Lynette, you never know who's going to be eligible until you actually start seeing them play. So a lot of these teams, I have to watch them for about 2 or 3 games in the season. You start, they got those guys. And then I start calling around and saying, do they have the guys they've had in the past? They sure do, because they know how to get there. And they got coaches and they got players and they've been there before. So those are one of those teams that can do it.
Look at this. I'm circling here on the screen. Y'all can see this. I think Aliceville had a couple of younger players last year, so they're going to be back maybe a little more heavier on some junior senior class. So, and they only lost 26-22. Reminder there. And Pisgah, of course, went on and played Fife. But hey, this Aliceville team and Southeastern, they've had some runs and also to make some adjustments.
I picked Aliceville actually last year because I knew they were young, and I picked them in that ball game, and they didn't because I think that the running back actually made the difference. But Aliceville's they've been there and done that before, and it's hard to actually call them a northern team or a southern team. I mean, they're right. They're one of those like Comer. They're on the line. They're
right there close to Utah, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well. And we saw them play a couple years ago against Spring Garden. We didn't mention Spring Garden earlier. They will be tough 1A.
Yeah, me and Coach O'Brien broke them down because they're going to play over there like, well, y'all can see. Yeah,
Coach, I'm going
to be at Spring Garden.
And they will announce a coach this week.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Maybe.
Let me go ahead and throw something out there when you talk about Spring Garden and Raglan and all them. Don't forget those 2 teams from down on the southern end of that region, because that region spreads out. My goodness gracious, as far as number of counties. Don't forget Wadley and Winterboro.
Yeah,
I watched Winterboro in their spring game against Talladega, and he's got some running backs. He's got his offensive line is about 270, 290, somewhere in there. Their offensive line, and they're playing quite a few players. Quarterback is a prospect. I don't know if it'll be a quarterback in college, but he's about 6'3". He can throw it. They've got some kids that can catch it. I think Coach has got Winterboro in the right direction. So that would be a team that you need to watch out for. And you never know about Wadley. Last year, a lot of people played them up early, but they were playing so many young guys. Right. And they started getting better as the season went along. And my buddy at Wadley says, watch out, we could be as good as we were the year they went there. So that may be one heck of a region.
Yeah.
I'm going back to 2A now, but what about Southeastern?
Yeah, that's where we're looking at. Southeastern, Reeltown, those teams are going to have some guys to come back. So, be looking for Southeastern or that Reeltown team out of the South. Guys,
I'll see Reeltown in a hurry because Cleveland County, everybody on the state line the Cherokee counties, Cleveland County, people like that play schools from Georgia, we lost those games, and you had to reschedule them. You had to find somebody, if you even could find somebody. I think Cherokee County found Alexandria. Is that who they found to play?
Yeah, they're going to play. They're going to start the season with
yes.
Scottsboro. Then they're going to play Alexandria.
Yeah, when Alexandria lost one of their running backs to Anniston. But anyway, I shouldn't even said that. But anyway,
I'd say that's an odd transfer too to me.
But it's public knowledge. Everybody, this is the mixed media age. There's people they know.
Yeah, and the Cleveland County they lost 2 games. Moody called them and said, "Look, Coach, we got a team out of Tennessee wants to play us. It's a whole lot better. Blah blah blah. We're supposed to come to your place, but we're not." Okay, they lost that ball game. Then they lost the Mount Zion game, which is right across the state line. So they're not going to have but 9 games this year, only 4 at home, and they would have been 3, but they picked up Reeltown. Well, that's not just your average little 2A school there in Reeltown. So that's
Mount Zion in Carrollton. Is that where you're talking about?
Yeah, the one right down across I-20. That Mount Zion.
That's where Coach Knapp, that coaches at Gainesville. That's where he played. And his granddaddy coached at his daddy coached at Mount Zion. His granddaddy coached at Washington County that you were talking about earlier.
Yes, that's right. His daddy, Mr. Knapp, he knows a lot about Ranburne.
Buddy.
Buddy.
He played at Ranburne. Brian played at Mount Zion.
Yes, he played at Mount Zion.
Roy played 13 years at Gainesville.
Yeah.
That's what they tell.
Back in the 30s or 40s, you could play. You could be like 25 and play high school football.
But he did coach at Washington County. But I didn't know Mount Zion's got a pretty good football program.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Moving to 3A here, we got it up on the screen. Y'all can look here.
That's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. 3A.
I got Piedmont highlighted. They played Sylvania last year. I'm kind of looking at Sylvania to be a good football team. Let's not forget about them.
I've heard. Yeah, Geraldine too.
Absolutely.
But I know Geraldine wasn't in that semifinal. But
so they lost 27 to 7. You can see right here. Mm-hmm. They lost. They lost to Sylvania, which Sylvania was a good team. So,
Sylvania bringing back a lot. Coach Short, have you heard?
Coach Smith told me from Westbrook, don't forget them too. He told me that Sylvania and Geraldine this year possibly could be as good as they've been. And Plainview has a lot coming back. Their schedule didn't show it last year. But Hatchie there, you're looking at some of them teams that were like 1-2 ball games, but they won late in the season.
Right.
I think that region is going to be extra tough. And first of all, you got 2 different coaches. You got a new coach at Piedmont, a new coach at Westbrook. But, man, Coach Smith told me that used to be at Piedmont, I have to say now, Steve, at Westbrook Christian, that his 7th and 8th grade team that as good as they were, the only 2 real close games they had last year was 2 of them, and that was Westbrook Christian twice. And the facilities, if you get an opportunity, you know how they say if you build it, they will come?
Yep.
Go look at what they're building at Westbrook Christian. No, they're not talking about building it. They're building it. They're putting it up right now. And that's going to be interesting.
I'm going to go.
It's pretty. You need to just drive down there and just walk around. Maybe they won't put you in jail, but just
I'd hate
drive
to get
around
know what the charge would be.
But ask them. But this region has been tough, and Coach Smith, he would always say, always tough, 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 and he'd always win the region. But I think this year could be as tough as it's ever been.
Well, I'm looking over here at this first round, Dadeville. I looked at them pretty good and was expected them. That Thomasville game winds up going 14-15, and Thomasville wins to move on to play St. James. And then, of course, we know St. James goes on and surprisingly beat Mobile Christian. We looked at them early. I remember looking at them early in the season, Mobile Christian, and St. James beats them 35-7. Jeez.
And Mobile Christian has some good linebackers. They've had some to go to Alabama and people like that. St. James's quarterback is back. They've got players.
Those receivers back.
Yes, a couple of them receivers are back.
One of them's gone.
Yeah, they had one to leave, but they had a real young guy also coming back. So it'll be very interesting. It always is in the South. I mean, you never know because there's so many athletes, and then when you start talking about private school, you never know what they may have added to their roster. So it just makes it difficult.
When we were talking about earlier, Thomasville is usually a 4A. Would you not think they would be a heavy favorite in 3A South?
Well, they've been around so many times. They were 4A, 3A, 4A, 3A. So it's kind of like every 2 or 3 years. So it means they're the smallest 4A in the state, and they would be one of the larger 3As in the state. They haven't been quite as good. I know we're looking there. They were in the playoffs there against St. James, but ever since their head coach, he retired and left, and he moved over to Mississippi. They haven't been as good. They're still good, but they haven't gotten over that hump yet with their new coach. So, they have a chance. They always do because they have such good athletes. They're another school that's real good in football and real good in baseball.
Here's the question then: is this St. James team that are we're going to probably get to see them in Tuscaloosa this year? Assumingly, we're just assuming.
Well, they got a new head coach. Coach retired after winning the state championship finally, so they've got a new coach also. So now you're taking a guy that hasn't been a head coach, and now he is now. So it just sees how he can. It's one thing to call plays as an offensive coordinator, but now you got to know what your offense is doing, your defense is doing, and you got to be doing 14 fundraisers at the same time. So you got to be able to learn how to manage your time. So that's going to be interesting, St. James, how they handle it with having a new coach. But skill player-wise and talent-wise, they're going to be loaded